I'm Penny Simkin, and I have been involved in childbirth work for 41 years. I have many interests in birth, but the one you're particularly interested in right now is my interest in doulas. I am a doula. I accompany women in labor. I'm a childbirth educator, author of several books, and I do train doulas. And I'm also a birth counselor, and I try to assist people who are feeling a lot of anxiety about the upcoming birth or who have had a very disappointing birth experience. I try to help them to come to terms with that kind of thing. One of the most recent additions, maybe, to maternity care team is the doula. A doula is a woman who is, usually a woman, not always, who is trained and experienced in childbirth. And she is gets to know the couple before they have their babies, and then she's with them from the time they need her in labor through the birth, providing not only her continuous care, but also emotional support, reassurance, encouragement, hands-on comfort measures, some guidance on when to try this or try that or that kind of thing, and also helping her to get information that she might need if a doctor or a midwife is concerned about something and wants to change the plan. The doula helps make sure the woman understands what her choices are. And I got very interested in this whole concept from two sources, really. Way back in the early 1980s, we had some studies by Marshall Klaus and John Kennel and others in Guatemala that showed that the presence of a kind woman with women in labor made a difference in their outcomes. So that I thought, well, that's interesting, but I didn't do too much about it. But then I did a study myself on women's long-term memories of their birth experiences and what contributed to their satisfaction. And I found that women who were cared for well were the ones most likely to feel satisfied with their births. And women who felt that they were neglected or not respected or not listened to or left alone, they were the ones that were likely to feel very unsatisfied with their births. And this was over 20 years. When they were looking back 20 years to their birth experiences, that was what stood out. And I thought, gosh, we can't control a lot about labor, when it starts, how long it's going to be, whether it's complicated, but we can control how we care for her. And at that time, and as is pretty much all the time, nursing shortage. And nurses already have huge responsibilities in the clinical arena and often more than one patient to take care of, so they couldn't provide that kind of care. And so the doula was seen mostly as a hospital, as a person to join the hospital team, and it was the choice of the mother to have a doula. So I thought, well, if we can control how we care for her, why don't we have people there for that purpose only? The doula is different from the partner in that she has more experience, more perspective, and a little more distance. So she's not as deeply emotionally involved as the partner is. So she can bring a calmness to the situation and help the partner to remain calm. And doulas and midwives have an awful lot in common, but the midwife still has the primacy, is the health care, the clinical condition, well-being of both mother and baby. And I found that at home births, for example, or birth center births, sometimes midwives have got to get some rest. I mean, these births go on for a long time, and we want our midwife to be clinically sharp and competent. And so if it's been 12 hours or 18 hours and it's the middle of the night, I would want her to get a nap. The doula isn't doing rocket science. The doula is there, in the continuous capacity. That's the way, yes, just like that. And we can do it tired. A midwife shouldn't have to do that when she's tired. She should be resting, so that if there is a need for her to be quickly thinking, she's got it. So although I perceived doulas first as an adjunct in hospital care, it turns out that they're very valuable and welcome by most of our midwives to help out during the birth. So in a nutshell, once I kind of figured all this out and realized how important care is, I started training doulas. I just made up a training program and did it. I wasn't the first. I don't want to pretend that I was the first person to ever think of this. But I think that I happened to be there at the right time in an environment where there was an awful lot of interest. There were people around Seattle that were just ripe and ready for this. And we started training, and we started training twice a year. And now we're training 10 groups a year. And the climate in Seattle is a little more welcoming than in many other parts of the country, so the doulas could be present at births without a lot of suspicion or territoriality or something like that. So we formed an organization in Seattle called the Pacific Association for Labor Support, and that was so successful, and we had such a good model that Annie Kennedy, the president of PALS, and I decided, let's go international with this. And we're lucky enough to find that Marshall Klaus and John Kennel and Phyllis Klaus were very interested in this. So the 5 of us joined together and founded Doulas of North America, which now has expanded and has now become DONA International. So that's kind of the story.
Hi, I'm Jan Tritton. I'm the mother of Midwifery Today, and I want to invite you to come to a conference. You just watched a video that we produced. We're going to produce many more. Many are from conferences, many are from interviews. You can find hundreds of free articles from our magazine, Midwifery Today, on our website. Our website has ever-changing articles. We have a homepage that has like news coming all the time, different things going on in childbirth and with Midwifery Today. We provide these things so that you can be the best midwife, doula, or mother, or father that you can be. We really want you to go out and serve